Edge! Freedom never sleeps! Ah!
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Thanks so much for coming by. Today is March 9th, 2023. It is Sunday now.
How about a nice cup of liberty?
Chat, show them some love. Well, Saturday now. I'm sorry. Saturday now, March 9th. It was Friday. Now it's Saturday. Chris, thank you so much for the support. Chat, show them some lovable love in the chat. Chat. And Shogun's on the watch streak. Look at that. Welcome everybody to another fun-filled stream. I got some 3D prints to share with y'all. We did a couple, and we got one going right now.
Say hello to the
We're printing another one now. We're printing the flamethrower, called down from Helldivers. But let me share with you the Eagle cluster bomb, which I shared on Twitter. Yeah, we got daylight savings this weekend. Grez, I'm right there with you, man. Here it is in all its glory. Trying to tilt it so the glare doesn't get on it too much. Came out really clean. See, it's got some little depth there. In the back, it did lift on the corners just a smidget, but you know, it's acceptable. Even with the brim, it lifted a little bit. So, and as a bonus, which I haven't shown anyone yet, you guys will be the first to see this because you're awesome. We got the railgun. Printed this one right before I went to bed, and you can see some of the imperfections in some of the parts of it, and I can probably correct that through some tweaking, but overall I like it a lot. I mean, when you put it on the wall, you're not going to see a lot of this stuff. But this is the railgun call down, which I haven't even used yet. I don't even have this unlocked in Helldivers. So we've got this one done as well. Wait, can the vertical people see that? Yeah, I think the vertical people watching on vertical YouTube can see that. And obviously we got the one printing right now. This is the flamethrower, which I do have. I do have the flamethrower, and I used it a few times. And I'm okay with using it. I'm okay with using it in solo. I don't feel comfortable using it with the team because you can do some damage pretty quickly. You gotta be careful with that thing. It's like a baby arc gun, if you will. Hey Cassie, welcome. See you over there on YouTube. If you are on YouTube, if you are watching over there, hey, click the like button. Click that like button over there. I'd appreciate it. Yes. I have not done any research. I got out of bed really late. I was tired, man. I don't know what's going on. I was so tired. I like slept for probably 6 hours, and I felt like I wasn't done. So I was like, I ain't done. And then I slept an additional 4 hours after that, and I was like, whoa. So I slept about 10 hours, and I think I needed it. I'm pretty sure I need it. But yeah, lots of rest today. Tomorrow's Sunday. I may be starting our goal-a-thon tomorrow. I don't know. I may be starting it tomorrow, or we may not start it tomorrow. We got to push towards our March goals. We didn't meet our February goals, but we got close, so I was happier about that. January goals we didn't meet as well, so I don't want to go 3 months in a row without hitting our goals. So we got to hit one of these months. We got to hit it. It's imperative. So we might be starting that tomorrow. Even though Sunday's my day off, I might be starting it tomorrow. What was I going to say? So yeah, I haven't done any. I haven't looked up any news stories yet, so we're gonna have to do that on the stream. Good thing you guys got a 3D printer to look at while I do this, because I don't not have that many stories collected yet, and we're gonna start collecting them now. Yeah, I guess I'll talk about Toriyama, since he touched so many lives. And I'll give my story about how he touched my life. Toriyama was a heavy influence on a lot of different parts of animation and anime. Silent Hill, no. What's all the drama with Helldivers 2? Knee-jerk reactions and nerfs, and now again server issues with the rollout of mechs. Yes, that's a good summary. People are saying a lot of the extremists, I call them extremists because people don't know how to dial it to like 5 or 6. They're either -50 or they're 700 on a scale of 1 to 10. So the people they're on like 700. They nerfed one of the guns, and it's called the railgun, which I printed here. This is one of the call down guns you get, called the railgun, and it was overpowered compared to everything else. People became reliant on it. They came reliant on the railgun to get through some of the harder missions, like 7 and above, like level 7 and above. So when they nerfed the railgun, and what they call, there's 2 modes. There's safe mode and non-safe mode. In safe mode, they nerfed it, and it did less damage, so people couldn't use it like they did before. So immediately they started crying, saying the game's broken, fix it, or I'm leaving. And people threatened to leave. People even threatened to refund. They threatened to uninstall. You could probably guess some of the ages of these people, but then again, there could be some older people with this maturity level, which is kind of sad. So there was a big deal about the railguns, and that was the major drama, because this was the first big balance pass since the game came out a couple of weeks ago. You gotta remember, the game's only a few weeks old. So the developers basically came out and told the players to get good, which was hilarious to me. And they were basically saying the same thing. The game's only been out 2 weeks. We need to look at and see how things work out. We made a change because this gun was completely broken, and I think the dev even called it a brain dead mechanic, which was true. Everything the dev said was accurate, and this was like all on Reddit threads. And players didn't like that, call for the dev to be fired because he told them to get good. Remember when we were young and said video games are going to rot your brain, and that video games were terrible for society? I'm starting to believe that. A lot of these gamers just can't handle. They can't handle games. So since then, some more adjustments have been made. Turns out with the changes to those weapons, the higher difficulties were a little bit harder than they should have been, even though you can get through them. They were spawning too many mobs, too many what they call heavy mobs. These were like the really big, tanky, hard-hitting mobs. So they were spawning too many, and players couldn't get past them. So they've since, I think that changes already went through. They've since nerfed those. They've nerfed those spawn rates. And then maybe not even 6 to 10 hours after that, the Helldivers devs came out with a incentive mission that if we complete it, we get mech robots unlocked to use. A lot of the drama mysteriously quieted down after that. Just it got really quiet. Nobody cared about railguns anymore. It was all about liberty and justice and freedom and democracy. Yeah. And then the mechs got unlocked. We did in like less than, I think it was less than a day. We went through the objective. We finished it. We liberated the factories that we needed to liberate. And then the mechs came out, and then there was a big spike in players. I don't know if there was a record, but there was a huge spike in players when the mechs came out, and it caused the servers to wobble a little bit. Because everybody was, yeah. If you can kind of see it here. You can kind of guess when the mechs came out, because the 24-hour peak was 400K, 437K, and that's a little bit less than the all-time peak. So there was a big spike in players, which happened. And I think there's still, I haven't checked. I saw on Twitter from hours ago, because I was asleep when all this happened, that they were in the process of fixing it. The Helldivers devs, they were in the process of fixing the problem. So yeah, that's a summary. What happened? That's the summary. It was a bad PR move on his part, but nothing he should have get fired over. I mean, yeah, he was crass. The dev was very direct and crass, but nothing he said was false. And I got respect for people like that. I don't, hard truth tellers are good. They're A-okay in my book. If you hurt somebody's feelings, but you're telling the truth, cool. I'm pretty sure they'll get over it, but, you know, I could be like, hey, man, maybe next time you could be a little bit less direct. But overall, you told the truth, so I'm okay with that. So nothing the guy said was false. So they gave them new toys and they sued themselves and quieted down. I don't know what happened, man, but it's like soon as that mission came out, I didn't see any. I mean, I'm just going by what's online on Twitter and Reddit and stuff. I haven't joined the Discord. I heard from Dag that the official Discord was just, it was like a constant. They have what's called slow mode, so I think you can only send like one message like every minute or so, and it's just constantly scrolling, just like people going crazy on the Discord. So I haven't been on the Discord, but Reddit and Twitter slowed down quite a bit when that directive came out, because it was really cool. The directive and the major order that came out says, hey, we need to liberate these factories so that we can gain control of them and give you guys some mech call downs. Everybody jumped on. They were like, heck yeah, let's go. You know, it was a really cool idea. I don't know where players got the idea that balancing should be solved by now. I think a lot of it was emotionally charged, Zach, and logic was thrown out the window. And the dev was spewing logic to the guy, basically telling him, you're admitting to me that you need to get better at the game. And the guy did. The guy was basically saying that I can't do this mission without the railgun. And the dev was like, well, we already know that it's possible to do without the railgun, so perhaps it's a skill issue. You know, like I said, the guy was direct, but he was telling the truth. It's like, this is a skill issue, sir. You need to get gooder. And he was right. Be like, dev should tell players that they're wrong. Yeah, they should. Mm-hmm. You absolutely should tell your customers or your players that they're wrong, especially when they are wrong. Are you gonna sit there and lie to them? Did he say it like that, or did he say it in a less civil way? He wasn't too far off from how I said it, because the guy said that, and then he said, and then the dev replied in so many words. He said, based on what you just said, that is the definition of a skill issue. That's what he said. And he was 300% correct. Because he was like, the mission is doable. you can only do it with one weapon that was too strong and brain dead gameplay. Paraphrasing again. And you could only do it with that, so you need to get better at the game. Just keep... No, basically he said, try something else. He was being nice. I think it was like a series of messages. He's like, maybe you should try different weapons. Like, try this and try that. We want you to experiment with different loadouts because the data showed that at the top level, a very, very high percentage of players were using this. They were using the railgun. A very, very, very high percentage. It was so meta that everybody used this. So when you talk about a PvE game and balancing, you don't want that. You know, you want a little bit more variety, especially since you work so hard on all these other weapons. And especially since this was like so far and beyond all the other weapons that were out there. So they needed to adjust it. It was something that needed to be done. And most logical, non-emotionally charged players agreed with that. Most of them agreed with that. They were like, yeah, the railgun's too strong, nerf it. But then you got the very, very loud minority, the typical standout, the 0.006% of gamers that seem like they represent 50% of gamers, but it's a very, very small percentage of gamers that are just very loud and very emotionally charged and very angry, which give gamers a bad name overall, if you ask me. Another dev said, rely... Oh, let me put this on the screen if I can do it. Nope, doesn't work. Another dev said, rely on your stratagems while at high levels, and you have 100% activation delay, 50% incoming cooldown, and scramblers, plus now potentially ion storms. So about half the time you can't use them at all. Yeah. That's a lot of stuff. The thing he shouldn't have said was mainly the part about him fanning the flames for amusement. Everything else was fine. Yeah, he shouldn't have said that. But he was being honest. See, that's the thing. It's like when you have like brash honesty, I don't have a problem with it as much. Maybe because I was raised around people like that. I don't know. Because he was telling I would much rather have that than a dev coddling a player and telling them that their feelings are legitimate and they're valid. I want somebody to tell them the truth, man. You know? So yeah, he was fanning the flames for amusement, which was wrong. But he did that and he told the truth about it. So I don't have too much of a problem with it, you know? So yeah, he was wrong, but he was honest. And you know what? I'd rather have honest devs than lying devs. I've been lied to many times by devs. Even if you're wrong and you admit to it, I'm okay with that. I always have been. I respect people like that. If they're wrong and they fess up to it, man, that's about all you can ask for. But you got these devs that are like, oh, okay, we heard your voice and we're going to look at things and possibly make things a little bit more accessible for players who are having trouble accessing our harder content using certain weapons. You know, they come out with this PR statement and then they nerf stuff into the ground and break the game, and then nobody's having fun. Instead of the top 0.5% of players not having fun, nobody's having fun. So I don't want that second scenario. So yeah, that's what happened. Oh. Okay. I got 3 gaming stories here, which are kind of good. Well, actually, the Dragon Ball story is not gaming. See if we can find some tech stories now. Do 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 do. Based on the first game, they will never nerf stuff into the ground. I think I played the first game like a very little amount. Let me look that up. It was either like early access or like a demo. I don't think I bought the game. And I think at the time, Steam or Valve released their top-down game, which was very similar to it, I think. But it wasn't, it was a different title. And I was like, oh, it's just like Valve's game. And I think that's what prompted me not to play it as much, because it felt like just like the Valve game. It was a top-down like horde shooter. Oh, I do have it. How long did I play it? Let's look it up. How long did I play the first Helldivers? 2 hours. Definitely wasn't that much. 2 hours. Last played December 7th, 2015. How you doing, Leggy? Welcome. Any upcoming games you're interested in? Anvil. Midair 2. Pacific Drive, that's out, but I don't have it. Tribes 3, if they can get rid of Denuvo, which they probably won't. Assetto Corsa 2, which I think we're going to be hearing about that very, very soon. I think it may have a spring to summer release date. Assetto Corsa 2 is going to be a big one that I'm looking forward to. There's another one I can't think of. Dragon's Dogma 2, I'm not too hyped because I'm not a Dragon's Dogma fan. I'll watch gameplay of it though, but I'm not a Dragon's Dogma fan, but I know a lot of you are. Doesn't show playtime for me on HD1, but can't be much more than 20 hours. Yeah. I feel fine. I hope you too. Oh, yeah, I do. Doing good, man. Can't complain. Slice and Dice is getting a big update and finally releasing on Steam and iOS. Looking forward to that. Slice and Dice. Hey, Dave, and welcome, man. Slice and Dice. Is that Fruit Ninja? Oh, it's dice. I thought it was like Slice and Dice, like, you know, you dice stuff with a knife. No, it's actual dice. Okay. Tactical dice rolling roguelike combat game. Take control of 5 heroes, each with their own unique dice. Oh, I'm sorry. You guys can't see this. Fight your way through 20 levels of monsters and try to take on the final boss. If you lose a single fight, you have to start over. Be careful. Okay. March 20th. Hey, I like that date. That's a good date. Hey, click the like button. Yeah, click the like button if you're on YouTube. Thanks. Manor is another one I'm looking forward to. Manor Lords. What's that game? Backpack Battles? I think my wife told me about this. I should put that on my wish list. Yeah. I saw that pop up. I was watching another streamer. He mentioned this. I was like, oh, yeah, this is the game my wife told me about that I should try. Backpack Battles. Manor Lords. So basically, Balatro. What you said? Balatro's cool, man. Manor Lords is a medieval strategy game featuring in-depth city building, large-scale fire, large-scale tactical battles, and complex economic and social simulations. Rule your lands as a medieval lord. Seasons pass, the weather change. So it's like Mountain Blade or I'm trying to think of games like this. Civ? Is it like Civ or what? Medieval strategy game. You're building roads. Okay. I think I've seen enough. It reminds me of the name escapes me. And we didn't play that much of it either. Yeah, I can get down with this. I can get down with this. I can get down with that. Let's see. Where's the Steam upcoming games? Upcoming. I don't think there's anything on console that I'm looking forward to. Ghost of Tsushimi's coming to PC on, I think they said May something. Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima is going to be one I'm probably going to get. I should throw that on my wish list. Yeah, May 16th, not 12th. Add to your wish list. All right, Ghost of Tsushima, we're throwing on the wish list. We'll probably play that 2 months after Horizon Forbidden West. Sheesh. Top wish listed items. Wukong, Frostpunk 2. Oh yeah, Frostpunk 2. I forgot about Frostpunk 2. Done with Ghost of Tsushima. Amazing game. Okay. PlayStation fans are trolls losing their minds on Steam forums. Oh, because of the games being ported? They don't like that. This has a date? Oh man, we might have to replay the old Stalkers before this comes out. Wee! I didn't know that was. I didn't know it had a date. You know what? They had the Xbox partner thing too, right? Did they talk about Stalker on there? I missed that whole thing. Completely missed the Xbox partner presentation thing. First Descendant. Next on 2024. They don't have a date for that yet. And at this rate, you'll finish Final Fantasy VII Rebirth just in time for Part 3. At this rate, I'm not going to finish that game. I'm serious, man. It's so much game. Like, and it's good. It's not as like it's bad. It's just so much game. It's like they crammed the entire first game into Part 2. And then some. I don't get it. Like, how's that possible? I mean, the incredible. I said the entire first game. I mean, the original Final Fantasy VII is like the second part is like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours. And I stand by it. It makes the first one like a demo. Oh yeah, Once Human. Do they have a date on Once Human? That's another one I'm kind of looking forward to. I don't want to play it now, mainly because they're going to wipe progress. And we're going to add that to my wish list. Once Human. I had fun with Once Human. Especially when the world opened up and I saw what was available in Once Human. Definitely was a game for me. What's Wildlands again? Another survival game? Yeah. I'm beginning to get survivor fatigue. It's happening. Because I know how I know I'm getting survivor fatigue. I see a survivor game and I groan. I go, oh. Yep. I'm beginning to get fatigue. Wait, Enlisted? I missed this game, dude. Q1 2024? We might have to get back into this. I missed this game, dude. I had so much fun when enlisted. This is made by the War Thunder guys, right? Yeah, War Thunder makes yeah, Gaijin. They published it, I mean. Survivor or survival? Survival. Like Punch Trees. I'm not talking about Deep Rock Survivor. I'm talking about Rust and Pal World and Enshrouded and those. That's what I'm talking about. I'm getting fatigued on those because like 20 just came out in like a month. Yeah, I didn't know Enlisted was coming out soon. Oh. This is a sequel? Wait. Did I play the first Unrailed? I feel like I played this, but I don't think it was Unrailed 2. Wait a minute. We played this on stream. We played this on stream, chat. But I thought it was just called Unrailed. Yeah. Okay. So I played the first one. It says I have 0 hours, but I know I played it. We played it on stream. So Unreal 2 is coming out already? 2? What's the when did this come out? 2020. Oh, I guess okay. So Unreal 2 is coming out. Interesting. Dude. Okay. Not sure how I feel about that. There's a lot of those now is released in early access, slowly developed over years, and most of them never reaching 1.0 or just fizzling out. Yep. 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 And unlike Pal World, they all ran like garbage. And they promised that they would fix it, and some of them never did. Some of them did, some of them did. Like, the one I'm rooting for is Icarus. Out of all of them, I want Icarus to do the best. Because I love their philosophy on a lot of things. But it's one of those games that runs like crap, too. So, I want Icarus to do the best. I only have 20 hours in it, and they were 20 hours well spent. Yeah. Definitely. MB Among Us, you will be a Hugh imposter. I don't know what that means. But I don't like Among Us because I'm not a good liar. I'm a very bad liar. I don't like lying, even when it's make-believe. Unless I tell you guys I'm a glass of orange juice, then that's fun. That's fun. I'm cautiously hyped for Dune Awakening. If that's the MMO, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna like that. I don't know if I'm gonna like that. I think the other Dune game, the RTS one, is probably gonna be the better investment. That one I do have. That is Dune Spice Wars. I think Dune Spice Wars is probably gonna be the better of the two. Awakening, I don't know. Even if Conan Exiles isn't fantastic, it's a solid game and still getting content, so I can see them doing good on the Doom one. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not holding my breath on it. Spice Wars is on Game Pass. Yeah, I got it through a sponsor stream, I think. Pretty sure I got it through a sponsor stream. Or somebody gifted it to me. I didn't buy it with my own money. All right. I'm very reluctant to talk about this TikTok story, but I might have to at some point. About the politics and people. It might have to be like a commentary video. One I need to prepare for. But I have feelings and thoughts that I'm willing to share. Whoa! Oh, it's Polygon. Never mind. This story was by, I think, J.R. Blaze. No, not J.R. Blaze. It was Certain Valen. This story about, could you please stop flashing, Brave? What are you doing? I don't know if y'all saw that on my face. It was just like, Epic Games unbanned, got unbanned by the Apple Store. So we'll talk about that. I have feelings on that too. I tried Valheim on Game Pass. Pretty good. Valheim is good. It's good. Yeah, I saw the headline for Adult Swim. I don't know what to make of it, though. I don't know what to make of it. Maybe I'll talk about it with more news about why it comes out. Because right now it's like early information, so it's probably not. It's probably incomplete. Probably only getting like 1.5 size of the story. There's a story about the Russian hackers breaching Microsoft system. That's scary. That's pretty freaking scary. This is War 3.0, chat. War has already started. They're not dropping bombs. They're dropping packets. The Saboteur is back on Steam, by the way, just like a bunch of other EA classics. Yeah. That's like a classic pack, right? I saw the announcement for that. While my nostalgia kicks in quite heavily when it comes to like that kind of stuff, I go play like Red Alert for like 20 minutes and I go, okay, that's enough. I can't get into it like I used to. I just can't get into the old games like I used to, you know? Like I can get into the MAME games and the NES and Super NES games more than I can like Red Alert, you know? There's good memories with these games, but they don't hold up. They don't hold my attention like they used to, you know? But I was a big Command and Conquer player, let me tell you. Oh my goodness. My first love was with Westwood was Dune. Dune 2. That was the birth of the RTS genre, of the real-time strategy genre, was Dune 2. And then from Dune 2 came Command and Conquer. And then from Command and Conquer, you got spin-offs like Planetary Annihilation, and then you got Warcraft and all those other RTSs you guys may have played. But the originator was Dune 2. Wormside. That's why I like Spice Wars so much, because it reminds me of Dune 2. And you got Red Alert 2, and all these other ones. Popular series, SimCity 3000. Wasn't a fan of that one. I don't know if they did the Blade Runner game. You might be right, though. You might be right. You could be right, sir. You could be right, sir. Get to pick up Dungeon Keeper? Everybody loves Dungeon Keeper. Everybody loves Dungeon Keeper. Everybody. Okay, so we've got 5 stories. 4 stories. I already got the Russian one, right? Yeah. Got that one. That one. I think I just need one more. What's the juiciest story out from tech? Everybody's talking about the Microsoft thing. That's the biggest story. And then the TikTok thing is probably second. Maybe I could do this game union story about the Activision QA workers. They formed a union and Microsoft acknowledged it. Makes it the largest base game developer union out right now, which is kind of big. These guys, I mean, unions are definitely a good thing from a certain perspective. They can be bad, obviously, but just like most everything. But especially now, when companies are just axing hundreds of thousands of people over like what 2 years, so many, like I don't know how many people got laid off in the last couple of years. There's been so many, probably not 100,000 but a lot. You have Knox. LastPass suffers an outage. That would have been news. The old LastPass. All right, we'll go with these 4 stories. That's fine. All right. We are preparing. I'm not going to record yet, but I'm just going to read these and then I'll mute alerts. Record these 4 videos. We may edit on stream today. I don't know. May do the live space after party. If you missed it already, I'll repeat this. We're sponsored by Polymaker. Go to polymaker.com. Exclamation point Polymaker in chat. We're sponsored by Polymaker. And we 3D printed these using Polymaker filament. We got some 3D printing filament giveaways going on. Actually, it finished and I didn't notify the winners. Whoops. Let me do that now. That was something I said I was going to do when I woke up. And I did not. I actually did not. All right. Let's notify the winners here. Sorry. Boop. And so Sebastian and Diablos that won. Man, Diablos has won a lot. Holy crap. How many spools has he won? I'm single-handedly supplying this guy with filament. Dang it. Okay. Doo-doo. All right, I got to fill out this other thing, which I don't know where it is, so I got to dig it up.
Bright light, Billy! Bright light, Billy!
Why are you so bright, Billy? What date was that? That was yesterday, which was the 8th. Guapo, welcome, dude. Boop. All right, we are done with that. Let's start the next giveaway. We will start the next giveaway for some filament in our Discord. Discord.gg/Buana. 2 spools of filament being given away. Head in there and go to giveaways channel. You'll see it. Okay. So, yeah. As I was saying before, I reminded myself about things that were not things. We're 3D printing here. This is the railgun call down from Helldivers. We printed this. We also printed the Eagle Cluster Bomb Call Down from Helldivers too. There it is. These are little plaques that you can... I don't know what to do with them, but they look cool, so I printed them. We're printing another one. We're printing the flamethrower right now. And yeah, so exclamation point Polymaker in chat. If you guys want to get more information about Polymaker, I do have an affiliate code with, or affiliate link with them. I don't think that command has that though. But I do have an affiliate link. And I should add that to the link, huh? If you do buy Polymaker filament, I ask that you use my link because I get credit for that. I get paid for that. They give me money. Ain't that wild? You get money on the internet. I'm editing command now. And we got these 4 news stories that we're going to be talking about right now. All right. Let me get my link from Discord in the affiliate links channel. So YouTube, wow. The YouTube message only allows 200 characters. So I gotta chop this up a little bit for YouTube. All right, save. So now it has a link in there. Okay. As I was saying. Microsoft confirms Russian hackers gain access to source code and internal systems. That's very bad. That's what we call very bad, chat. That's like big bad. This is the reason why this is the biggest story. They said it appears to be state-sponsored, but... Oh, they said what it says is a state-sponsored Russian group, so... That's an escalation. As far as the Microsoft hosted because of the system, hasn't found any evidence of the hackers gaining access. Hey, Diedrich. Good morning, man. The group did get some details through emails access. It appears that the Midnight Blizzard used a secret. La 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 la. All right, while I annotate this, y'all can watch. We're 3D printing another call down from Helldivers. This is the flamethrower. Now I just realized there's a lot of videos out there that do very well, where they have like some commentary and stuff that I'm talking about like right now, and they have like a video game playing on top of it, so that somebody can have something to watch while they're listening. I wonder if I could do that with like a 3D print time lapse. What I also need to do, this is a segue, is that I just need to record like hundreds of hours of B-roll of random games. Doesn't have to be good gameplay, just like hundreds and hundreds of hours of like gameplay. How'd the first one come out? Oh, it came out great. I threw it up on my Twitter as well. Yeah, this is the Eagle Cluster Bomb. Came out really nice, really clean. We also did a railgun one too. In blue. Came out really nice. I'm gonna screenshot that for prosperity. For the archives. Maybe I'll throw it up on Twitter. Yeah. Secrets. Did customer access, okay. Customer details. So not only did they hack them, they sent emails saying we got this dirt on you. That's what it sounds like. All right, this is bad either way. All right, let's record. Let me mute the alerts. So don't do any alerts or any that kind of stuff because it's not going to play. Even though it may pop up on the screen. They are not going to play because I am now recording. We're going to mute Tangia. There we go. And here we go. Don't worry about the music. It won't be on the final recording. Yeah. Here we go. Microsoft confirms Russian hackers gained access to source code and internal systems. This story comes by way of InsiderGaming.com, and it ain't good. It's exactly what you think it is. Microsoft has confirmed it's been hacked by what it says is a state-sponsored Russian group known as Midnight Blizzard. On top of that, the group has gained access to various internal systems and company source code. This is a full-on breach. They gain access to internal systems and source code. This is as bad as it probably can get. I think the next step would be to lock everybody out, but I don't think they got that far. In recent weeks, this is a quote from Microsoft. In recent weeks, so it hasn't been like one day, it's been weeks, we have seen evidence that Midnight Blizzard is using information initially exfiltrated from our corporate email systems to gain or attempt to gain unauthorized access. This has included access to some of the company's source code repositories and internal systems. So they are going for the gusto. They're going for Windows source code. They're going for all the Microsoft program source code right off the bat. The group did get access to some of the customer details through emails access. And this is a quote that kind of got me thinking like that they maybe have to dirt on people as well. It says it's apparent that Midnight Blizzard is attempting to use secrets of different types it has found. Some of these secrets were shared between customers and Microsoft in email. So they emailed Microsoft, apparently, and said, hey, we got some dirt on you. And as we discovered them in our exfiltrated email, we have been reaching out to these customers to assist them in taking mitigating measures. I may be misunderstanding this, but it sounds like that Midnight Blizzard emailed Microsoft and customers with secrets that they have. I don't know what that means. I could be wrong about how I'm interpreting this. This is not a very well-written paragraph, so we'll see. But this is an ongoing investigation. Our active investigations of Midnight Blizzard activities are ongoing, and findings of our investigations will continue to evolve. They said we remain committed to sharing what we learn. So this is going to be something we're going to be following for a long time because I got a feeling a lot of stuff on customers, Microsoft customers and Microsoft information is going to end up on the dark web if it's not already on the dark web for sale, and or it's going to be utilized for something nefarious because these are what we call bad actors. This is what we call bad actors, and they can use this information to do very, very bad things. And there's a ton of things controlled by Windows. If you think about it, it might cause you to lose sleep, but there's some very secure systems out there that are guarded by some Microsoft systems and processes. And if they can be breached, these hackers can gain access to just about every and anything. So check it out. Over on insidergaming.com, they got the details. A very scary thing that's happening. Microsoft has confirmed that Russian hackers have gained access to source code and internal systems. Oh yeah, they do have military contracts too. Yep, you're right. You're absolutely right about that. I might start recording vertical versions of these stories, and just, I'm telling you, man, put random gameplay. It could be Minecraft, it could be Pal World, it can be Helldivers, just random gameplay. I think I'm gonna do some experiments. Yes. 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 I love that part of the song. I hate that stuff, to be honest. I know. But it's what people watch. It's what people watch. And it's great for platforms like YouTube Shorts and TikTok, which you probably hate too. But this format that I'm doing right here will stay on YouTube. But the vertical formats, people, I'm telling you, I don't know why, but they get a ton of views. The algorithm loves that stuff. I don't like it either. Like, I'm like, what is going on? Like, they'll show like a car jumping across some Roblox game of some random puzzle, and I'm just like, what's going on? And they're talking about the weather in Spain. I'm like, what? Huh? Totally unrelated things. My brain short circuits when I see that stuff. I'm like, they're not related. What's going on? Or some mobile game of some guy running down the corridor shooting a bunch of people. It's just like, what in the world's going on? But I can appreciate B-roll. Like this story here, if I had like random Final Fantasy VII footage, which I have a ton of. Well, let me tell you about Buana's playthrough of Final Fantasy 14. Or, I'm sorry, Final Fantasy 7. I got a ton of footage to pull from. I just pull up the last episode here. That's 5 or 6. I had to pull up 6. 18 gigs. 18 gigs of me running around, hitting things on chocobos and whatnot. Yeah, I got tons of footage of this stuff. Probably why it gets the view, keeps people engaged, because they're trying to figure out the connection. No, the going theory is that it alleviates some people's short attention span. So if you listen to a podcast, right? A lot of times, we're guilty of this too. If you're listening to a podcast, or you're watching a podcast, or you're watching one of my game chat with one of us, for example, you can still hear me talking, but you may go off into another tab and do something else. Like you listen to a podcast while working, or you doing this while doing something else. So what it alleviates is people can watch that gameplay while listening to you. So it kind of entertains that part of their brain while they're getting some good information about something else. And when you're on a short form video site like TikTok and YouTube, if you get bored, you just swipe up, right? But in that case, if they've got your attention watching the gameplay, like, oh, what's this guy going to do in the gameplay? They'll watch the video to completion. It's a weird brain thing that I don't understand. I'm too stupid for that. But I think it has to do with some people just, their lack of attention span being satiated by that random gameplay. Or it could be related gameplay too. I mean, that's why B-roll is so important. I know for a fact that's why B-roll retains a lot of viewership, because it satisfies that part of the brain. Like if you're talking about the game and you show some gameplay footage of it, yeah. But you know what? Even before this short video stuff started, people did this. Like I know some YouTubers I used to follow, they would like show random Call of Duty gameplay while they're talking about something they're going through in their life. They'll be like, okay, I had to go to the hospital for this. And you're watching Call of Duty gameplay. You know? So they give you something to watch while you're listening to them. They don't have any sound on or anything. It's just no sound. It's just random Call of Duty gameplay, but they're talking about their visit to the hospital or something. So it's a weird brain thing. I don't get it. But I'm thinking about doing it for my shorts. Because right now my TikTok videos are about 250 to like 300 views. I got a couple that may have gotten more than that. Yeah, they're all around 200 to 300, which is, compared to YouTube, really good. That's like 300% more than what I get on YouTube. So that's really good views. Although the interactions are really low, like 10, 12%. The views are pretty high. So if I add some random, I need to do some thumbnails too. This is ridiculous how bad these are. And one thing I hate about TikTok is that you can't like go back and edit and add a thumbnail later. It's like once you got a video up there, it's there forever. So you have to do the thumbnail at the time of upload. And currently I'm in the process of like catching up. So I'm uploading like 10, 12 videos at a time, which is why you guys are getting spammed by TikTok. I'm trying to catch up. We're almost caught up though. We're in the Nintendo Sues Yuzu story. But I'm part of their what you call it program now, their content creator program. So if I can get 1,000+ views on these, then some money will start rolling in. To be good. It's like people talking about a topic and have gameplay as a background instead of a webcam. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. But see, I don't know how I'm gonna format it. Like this is okay. Let me show you this. This is my I'm gonna do a quick recording here so you guys can see. This is the format I have for my vertical stream. Let me do a quick recording here. Hello, my name is Buona. This is a quick recording. Ha 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 ha. Vertical recording. Stop. I don't know where that's saved. Videos, backtrack, recordings. Okay. Let's go there. I don't see it. Oh, there it is. Man, that was hiding. So this is the format I have for this, where I have like the top half. You guys see that? The top half of the screen. Thanks, Buona. And I have my camera at the bottom. So what I'm thinking about doing is, instead of having my camera, is doing like a smush version of that. Let me show you. It's the best way to do this. If I take the display capture and I make it a little bit wider so you can see the whole story. And I just put the bottom as game, like some random gameplay or something. Let's do that, and then I don't have anything to put in the middle right now, but I'm gonna do a quick recording of this so you guys can see the format. 3, 2, 1, stop. 3, 2, 1, stop. Remux, thank you. See, I like condense the top there to have like the whole browser, and then this whole bottom part can be like gameplay, or I can have me in the camera and have the gameplay in the middle or something like that. That might be too much. 3 panes might be too much. But what they do on those other things is it's a split thing. They have half gameplay and half camera, or half like an article, or half like I don't know. It's something I'm going to be tweaking and probably doing tonight after the stream. I'm going to be playing with some formats, which is going to be more work, but at the end of the day, it's going to be worth it. Especially if I can get the process nailed what I want to do, and then I can streamline the process to make it go quicker, so I don't have to do a lot of post-processing. You know what I mean?
No, Buona, we don't get it.
Well, that's fine. You'll be all right. Chat, we're sponsored by Polymaker. Polymaker.com. I'm sorry, Polymaker in chat. They provide all the filament I'm using. All of this is Polymaker Polylite filament that we're using. The black, the red. I'm sorry, the black, the reds, the blue, the white. All that stuff is Polymaker, and we're printing some Helldiver stuff now. These Stratagem decal plaques, I guess you can call them, are being 3D printed. Here is the Eagle cluster bomb. Right now I'm printing the flamethrower call down, and then we also have the railgun call down. These can be hung on the wall. They can be put on your desk. You can put them in a frame. You can set up a mural. You can set up, like, if you have a favorite loadout of all your call downs, you can like set up some kind of a mural for it, or some kind of a area in your office. Ow! I just hit my hand. White. In your office to do that kind of stuff. Notice how my blue looks green with the colors until I do that, and then it changes blue. Lighting is fun. Anyway, we're sponsored by Polymaker. Thank you, Polymaker. We have some filament giveaway going on in our Discord, discord.gg/Buona. Go in there in the giveaways channel. You'll see 2 spools of filament are given away weekly. 1 spool to 2 different people, and you can get yourself some filament, even if you don't 3D print. You might do it in the future, so you'll have some material to print with, because this is the plastic that you use to print with, so you need that stuff. Yeah? Yeah. Okay, I gotta read this story. I haven't read it yet. I just saw the headline. I was like, yeah, I'm talking about that. Second best physical launch ever in a PS5 game. The physical sales. Famitsu. Step 1, enter giveaway. Step 2. Step 3, 3D print. These are physical copies too, man. I think that's what's impressive about this. They're not digital. Oh, you got 4 steps. The regarding games came out on the same week as Rebirth. Stands tall, the best-selling game. Man. They move hardware. Ooh, Nintendo came out on top. Jeez, Xbox. Holy crap, they're doing awful. Was this just Japan? Famitsu is Japan. Oh, okay, this is just Japan. Never mind. I was going to say, if they only sold 2,000 consoles worldwide, I was like, Xbox, y'all need to shut down. That's just Japan, though. They've always been bad in Japan. I was going to say, man. All right, let's talk about it. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is a game. It has Japan's second best physical launch sales ever for a PS5 game. This story is over on psu.com. They got the details. According to Famitsu, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which is the second in a trilogy, if you guys haven't been keeping up with what's going on, Famitsu reports that the number of Rebirth physical sales cements it as having the second best physical launch sales numbers ever for a PS5 game. In first place is Final Fantasy XVI, which sold 73,000 more copies than Rebirth on launch. And if you're wondering, Rebirth sold 262,656 copies, according to Famitsu. But despite it being an exclusive title for PS5, it wasn't able to move the needle on hardware to get the PS5 in the first place of last week's sales. And again, This is in Japan. So if you're thinking like, oh man, that's not good at all. This is not worldwide. Famitsu will track the numbers in Japan, which is, you know, Square Enix's home turf, which is a good indication of how the native Japanese, Japan folk, the Japan folk think about the game in terms of like voting with their wallet. But in terms of like the best-selling hardware was the Nintendo Switch, topping out the week with 62,531 consoles sold, ahead of the PS5's 48,067, and then Xbox coming in dead last at 2,351, which, you know, sounds daunting, but you got to remember Xbox has always done bad in Japan since the beginning of time. It just hasn't broke through over there, which makes sense because, you know, Nintendo and Sony are home companies and they tend to cater to their home audience a lot more. So this is interesting. Well, you know, one thing I want to see added to this, I want to see Steam Decks sold in Japan. They need to add that to the list. How many Steam Decks are sold in Japan compared to the Switch? I would love to see that graphic. Absolutely love to see it. I want to see how much they're selling over there. I don't know if they can track it. I don't know if those numbers are kept anywhere, but I would love to see it. But let me tell you, Final Fantasy VII, if you haven't already, check out my playthrough going on YouTube right now. I'm on episode 6. I'm barely like 10 to 12 hours in the game, so I'm very early. So if you've been playing it and you don't want to get spoiled, don't worry. You're probably way ahead of me. My overall thoughts on the game are positive. I think the game is in a good state. I think Square Enix has a good game on their hands, and I'm not going to say much more beyond that because I don't want to spoil what you guys are, you know, anticipating if you're going to play it yourselves. But it's a good physical launch. I mean, Square Enix is dominating in terms of physical launches over there in Japan. They got spots 1 and 2 with Final Fantasy 16 and also Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. Check the story out over on psu.com. They got the details about PlayStation 5 hardware not really being moved by these titles, but Square Enix is killing it in terms of Final Fantasy 16 and Final Fantasy 7 physical sales. Check it out. All right, that time I did a vertical recording on top of the normal recording. And I'm going to use, this is going to be my test bed for the experiment I talked about. We're going to use that video as a way to test doing some weird vertical stuff. You know what I'm saying? No, I mean, you know what I'm talking. Okay, you got me. You got me. All right. Oh boy. Put away your tissues, chat. You won't, you'll be all right. There's no crying in baseball. There's no crying in baseball. People forget he worked on Dragon Quest too. I mean, if you see Dragon Quest, you're like, oh yeah, that's a Dragon Ball guy. He was only 60. He wasn't that old, dude. He was 68 years old. Man. Yeah, he had a lot of stuff going on. Like they were working on the next stage of Dragon Ball. Man. Sag. Such Sag. And the replies probably tearjerkers too. The replies from other respected people in the anime community, they are all saying how much they respected him, and they, you know, they're sad he's gone. Oh yeah, Chrono Trigger too. You know what's I'm not gonna say funny. You know what's ironic is that I was just talking about replaying Chrono Trigger, like the day before yesterday, the day before this guy passed. I was talking about replaying Chrono Trigger because I liked the game so much and I haven't finished it. Oy, so sad. Are these multiple stories or is this just the same one? No, it's the same one. No, these are different stories. Yeah, I should. That's just. Yeah, let's not go down that rabbit hole. These are different stories. I thought they were all the same one, but I think they're just related stories that they're bundling in. That's kind of genius. It gets you to read more than one story without you knowing it. Okay. Dragon Ball creator Akira Toriyama passes at 68. I don't talk about too many stories like this on this stream and on this channel, but this is a huge influencer in video games and anime that has moved on. The guy's 68. He was 68 years old, gone too early, and all social media and just the atmosphere amongst all creators, anime creators, game developers has been somber because this man was a juggernaut in the industry. Dragon Ball creator Akira Toriyama has passed away at 68 in a post by the Dragon Ball's official X account. His work on Dragon Ball influenced many modern anime and manga series. Toriyama's visionary balance of humor and action made his manga and art style iconic. Let me tell you about just my early anime influences. The first anime I ever saw was gosh, why is the name escaping me now? I've told the story 100 times. I can't remember it. It wasn't. Oh man, I'm embarrassed. One second. I gotta look this up. This is funny. I gotta look this up. I can't mess this up. I didn't think I was gonna talk about this, but it wasn't Voltron, but it was like Voltron. I gotta look up an anime list and then I'll tell you guys like what. It's like a 70s anime. Wait. No, I'm coming to it. No, that wasn't it. Was it 80s? It wasn't Mobile Suit Gundam. Battle of the Planets. Okay, we're back. Battle of the Planets. This was the very first anime I saw, and I used to watch it early in the morning. Early in the morning. I didn't even know it was called anime at the time. But I used to love this. I used to watch this every chance I got, and it was really, really awesome. And Battle of the Planets changed my life in terms of how I looked at animation in general. And you know, from Battle of the Planets, I stem series like Thundercats and He-Man and that type of art style of cartoons that I got into, and then eventually G.I. Joe and the different things. But it's like Battle of the Planets was the first quote unquote anime, and I didn't even know it was called anime. I just thought it was a cartoon, And then I got to college, and this guy around this time, this was like the early 90s. This guy that I knew, he was my roommate of one of my friends, and he had a whole bunch of VHS tapes. He was Asian. He had a whole bunch of VHS tapes, and that was the only way you could watch anime back then. You had to go to anime trade shows, and you had to come back with a bucket of VHS tapes. He had a whole bunch of anime, and we sat there and we watched Ranma 1/2. When I tell you I was confused beyond just what was happening, because if you don't know about Ranma 1/2, don't even bother go looking at it, because there was a panda, and there was a dude, and there was a girl, and they would just somehow become all. I didn't know what was going on, and to this day I still was lost. And then I was like talking about anime with them, and then he recommended Ninja Scrolls and Akira, and I say Akira to Americans because that's how they know it. Akira and Ghost in the Shell. He recommended those three. He's like, if you want to get started with anime, watch those three, and I did. And I was hooked. And thankfully, around that time, Toonami started airing animes. And one of the first ones I really got into, like I had to watch what was going to happen, was Dragon Ball. And that was when I was like, okay, I got to see the next episode. Tune in next time on Dragon Ball Z. On the next episode of Dragon Ball Z, Goku is still charging, you know, that kind of stuff. I was big into that. So this was my massive gateway into anime was Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. I didn't see Dragon Ball until after Dragon Ball Z, by the way. I saw Dragon Ball first, and then I went back and watched Dragon Ball. And then as technology improved and as you didn't have to get VHS tapes anymore, you know, things like Usenet came around and IRC with DCC bots that had the entire season that you could just download to your computer. I'm not saying I did that, but it was available. And I was introduced to animes like Cowboy Bebop. And I was like, oh, because that was on Toonami as well, but I hadn't seen the whole thing. And I was like, wait, I can download this whole thing? So I watched Cowboy Bebop. And guess what my #1 anime of all time is that right now? It's Cowboy Bebop. I also got introduced to Trigun on Toonami. So Toonami was a big influence with bringing all these to the West. And Akira Toriyama, the dude was a juggernaut. Because not only, and this is how I knew he was an influence. Not only did he influence me with Dragon Ball, I went to play Dragon Quest. I was like, wait, this guy looks just like the people on Dragon Ball. I was killing slimes. I'm like, everybody looks like they're from Dragon Ball Z. What the heck is this? Is this some kind of plagiarism? Nah, it's just Akira Toriyama. It's one of his Toriyama's one of his older games. I'm like, oh. And then I played Chrono Trigger. I'm like, wait a minute. Everybody looks just like Goku and Bulma. And they were like, that's because that's Akira Toriyama. I'm like, oh, okay. Because I didn't play these games until after Dragon Ball Z, right? So the guy was touching games, he was touching manga, he was touching anime, and I agree with this article that the combination of humor, because there were some funny parts in these animes, the combination of humor and action made it a great formula for people like me, because I like action games, I like action movies, but I love when there's humor in them. It breaks the tone of just like constantly fighting, boom, 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 boom. You know, you can get into the story, but then you chuckle every now and then because Goku was a freaking clown. And then when him and Vegeta had their moments, you know, I was on the floor laughing because Vegeta's like this super serious guy, and then Goku's like the ultimate clown, and it just made for this great dynamic. He will be missed, but Akira Toriyama has left probably the biggest since like Mel Brooks. Like, I can't think of anybody else other than Mel Brooks that has left a lasting legacy. Not Mel Brooks, Mel Blunt. What's the Bugs Bunny guy? Okay, we're having another moment. Is it Mel Blanc? The Looney Tunes guy who left Mel Blanc. This guy. He's the only person I can think of that has left as big a legacy as Toriyama. Because this guy, he shaped my childhood much more so than Toriyama. Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Tweeter. Sylvester, Yosemite Sam, Foghorn Leghorn, Tasmanian Devil, Looney Tunes, basically Porky Pig, Elmer Fudd. This dude was a huge influence on all these characters. So he's like one of the ones that has a big influence on me, like Toriyama does on this generation. So it's a big loss. It's going to be a big gaping hole. And it's the fact that he has so much going on, so much happening in progress. He was in the middle of working on stuff, you know, makes you wonder like what he could have accomplished if he had more time. But he's already accomplished so much. So check it out. Over on Screen Rant, they got the story. Very, very sad news. Dragon Ball's creator, Akira Toriyama, passes at 68, leaving behind a massive legacy with Dragon Ball, Chrono Trigger, Dragon Quest, and more. Check it out. That went long. That went a lot longer than I thought it would. Probably because I forgot stuff. Like Battle of the Planets. I don't know why I just forgot the name of that. Because I had two names. It was Battle of the Planets and there was an American name of it. I think it was called Gotcha Man. I mean, there was a Japanese name. Yeah, Science Ninja Team Gotcha Man. And then it was Battle of the Planets, and it was G-Force. Was it G-Force? It has several. Yeah. GeForce Guardians of Space. Yep. That was the other one. It was reworked in the US as GeForce Guardians of Space by Turner in 1986. Yep. So it has so many names. That's probably why I couldn't remember Battle of the Planets, but this was the one I saw originally. Like, that Battle of the Planets is what I saw in the 70s. I was really young. And then GeForce I saw later on. I was like, oh, these are the same people I saw before. You know, it's like they had the same outfits and everything. Yep. Go Speed Racer. Go Speed Racer. Go Speed Racer. Go. I'm doing the pose. There we go. Good times. Good times, man. Epic times. Gooder times. Have we got to the white yet? We haven't gotten to the white yet. Have not got to the white. But we're finishing up the blue. Well, we're almost done with the black, I think. Because I think the black only goes so high and then it goes blue and white. Yes. 4-hour print, by the way. I need to do a time lapse of this. Is the bottom right what you're trying to print? Yep. That is what we're making. This is a Helldivers 2 stratagem icon for the flamethrower. As what we're printing. Okay. That print is 4 hours. Yeah, the ones I printed before, this one is 4 hours. And the Eagle Stratagem is 4 hours as well. I think that one's 4 hours and 3 minutes. This one's like 3 hours and 59 minutes. So they're all around 4 hours. And I'm printing them at 300% size. So they're designed to be much smaller, but I wanted to make them bigger. Okay. Let's read this story. Epic Games just got unbanned by Apple. A swift inquiry from the European Commission. Oh, he's going to blame EU for this. Dude, Tim Sweeney's got EU on speed dial. He's got the European Commission on speed dial. What the heck? Wow. Wow, that's pretty cool. Applicant for a decision, email the verse following the conversation. Let's make this green because this is an Apple quote. Ooh. Interesting. Man, this Apple Epic thing is getting ugly, man. This is getting ugly. Wow, I didn't realize how ugly this was getting. The gloves are off. The gloves are off. All right, let's talk about it. I've annotated. Let's go. The gloves are off. The gloves are off. I was just telling my chat about this. Epic Games and Apple, man. they're swinging. It used to be Apple versus Microsoft, but current year, it is Epic Games versus Apple, man. CEO Tim Sweeney has been very, very vocal on Twitter and other outlets about how Apple has been abusing their monopoly on the mobile app store on iOS. And the Digital Markets Act is something we've been talking about here for a couple of stories, and it just went into effect this past week. And it allows multiple app stores to be ran from Apple's device without Apple banning them. Now, Apple retaliated by banning the developer account from the store, from the App Store, from the iOS App Store. So they could not do anything, even though they were allowed to get back on the store and do some stuff and do some things through the Apple ecosystem. They got banned. See, yeah, Tim Sweeney was like, so he just grabbed the bat phone. Hello, European Commission. It's me, Tim. Epic Games will be unable to open this iOS App Store in the European Union, will be able to open this App Store in the European Union after all. The game publisher had his developer license revoked by Apple earlier this week, but Epic Games now says that Apple has reversed its decision following an inquiry from the European Commission. It's an update on the website. Epic Games says Apple has committed to European Commission that they will reinstate our developer account, and the company is now moving forward as planned to launch the Epic Game Store and bring Fortnite back to iOS in Europe. So Tim Sweeney's bringing the Epic Game Store to iOS, but it's only going to be in Europe because of the Digital Market Act that passed over there in Europe. But currently in the US, you won't see this on iOS. Apple has also confirmed the decision in an email to The Verge, and following conversations with Epic, they have committed to follow the rules, including our Digital Market Act policies. This is an Apple spokesperson, Fred Sands. As a result, Epic Sweden AB has been permitted to re-sign the developer agreement and accepted into the Apple developer program. And yeah, the EC, the European Commission, is also taking credit for the reinstatement, saying that with satisfaction that following our contacts, Apple has decided to backtrack its decision on the Epic exclusion. Things are just getting ugly between these two, man. Like, this is getting really, really ugly. And again, a reminder, the DMA went into effect on Wednesday, which allows third-party app stores to be run, so the Epic Game Store will be on there. But it was kind of funny that Apple just banned Epic's account, so they couldn't put their own games on there. Oh, man. You can continue to use third-party apps while outside the EU, but don't expect to be able to update them if you travel for too long. We talked about that story. If you need to, you can, check out my channel and get that story about the whole grace period thing. If you leave the EU, you won't be able to access the app store, the third-party app stores, or update your apps if you're gone for too long. It's going to do some geocentric location tracking to make sure you're in the EU to do this. How that's going to all work out, I don't know how they're going to be able to enforce that, because people are clever and they'll find ways around it. Much like with the Netflix stuff that people do for sharing accounts, people are finding ways around that. So it'll probably happen here as well. Check the story out over on The Verge, man. Epic Games, Apple, duking it out with the Digital Market Act and how the Epic Game Store is slowly crawling its way onto iOS. I can't believe it's gone this far, but maybe we'll see it on the U.S. store in the future as a result of the Digital Markets Act. Maybe that could be a basis for revisiting this. I don't know what legal basis they would have, but maybe. Tim really wants it. Tim is adamant about getting the Epic Game Store on iOS, and we'll see if it happens. Check it out. The Verge has a story over there. Okay. We are done recording stories. And you can't hear anything, neither can I. Turn alerts back on. And let me also enable Tangia. Again, alerts are back on, sounds are back on. Quick tests, one of my favorite sounds. Let's see the maniacal laugh. Perfect. Perfect. They almost busted web apps for everyone in EU, UK, US, AU, JP all have similar investigations open. Oh, man. It's ugly, man. It's just, the whole thing is just ugly. It's the only way to describe it. It's just an ugly situation. Ugly, 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 ugly. Okay, I need to finish this coffee soon. It's getting close to 8 o'clock. Open web advocacy. Ooh. Yoink. Bookmark that. That'd be a good source for updates. Oh, I need to change the logo for the giveaway, which is kind of annoying. I wish this was easier. They should have let me change the logo. They probably do. I gotta learn how to use Dino. Okay, we're logged in. Changing logo. Edit giveaway. Image. Hello? Polymaker. Polymaker. Boom. Save giveaway. Yay, we have changed the logo for the giveaway so people can come into the giveaway channel and easily see that that's Polymaker. Okay, so I'm going to minimize this browser because I'm going to need all those links. And I'm going to take my first break. I'll see you guys in a little bit. I'm just going to get up and walk around and stretch a little bit, check out the print, walk over to it, and refill my water and all that, reheat my coffee. I'll be right back. Okay, you are not supposed to do that. What the heck is happening here? I don't know why. Center. Thank you. Alright, we're back. Do. La da da. Oh, we're on the white. We have started printing the white. So we're still on the black is finished and now it's just blue and white printing. Okay. Oh, nice show game. Okay. We started here, huh? Oh, that was some B-roll I was doing. There we go. Oh, that's a lot of snow, man. That is a ton of snow. Sheesh. Yeah. Here we go. Microsoft. Yeah. Here we go. Microsoft. Yeah. Gained access to source code and internal systems. This story comes by way of insidergaming.com, and it ain't good. It's exactly what you think it is. Microsoft has confirmed. Internal systems. Was so bad in places they took off the snowplows. Really? That's not good. So is it supposed to lit up anytime soon? This project's getting too big. I gotta start doing. I'm being lazy and reusing a lot of stuff. But I think after this one, I'm gonna delete a lot of the stuff that's in the hopper there. Not for another 5 to 6 hours, according to the forecast. Oh, ow. All right, so let's get rid of a lot of these things here. Edge. Wait. I have the master clip bin here. That might speed up things. Save. Okay. What's the next one called? That's wild though, man. It's been a weird year in terms of weather. That's putting it lightly. It's been a really weird year. Oh, I forgot that beginning part. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is a game. It has Japan's second best physical launch sales ever for a PS5 game. This story is over on psu.com. They got the details. According to Famitsu, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which is the second in a trilogy, if you guys haven't been keeping up with what's going on, Famitsu reports that the number of Rebirth physical sales... Yeah, normally we have a green Christmas, but normally it's white. And then now we're finally getting hit. Cements it as having the second best physical launch sales numbers ever for a PS5 game. In first place is Final Fantasy VI. Yeah, down here we're heavily influenced by El Nino and La Nina, and El Nino it's just gonna be wet. It's just like rain so much in the winter. Super wet. Thankfully we didn't have that many floods, but it could have been. It could have been really bad. Like where I'm at, but I know a lot of places have had tornadoes. It's been a busy tornado season, thanks to El Nino. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth usually brings nor'easters too, but I don't think the Northeast has been getting a lot of snow as they normally do during El Ninos. Cements it as breaks record physical sales. Oh, come on. Copy. There we go. We're still cleaning up from one storm and now added to it. Yeah. They're talking about this might possibly be a very active hurricane season due to El Nino going away and La Nina coming back. And La Nina means more storms. Because El Nino usually pushes the storms away from the U.S., but La Nina, it's like, bring it on. So they're anticipating a pretty busy hurricane season. I hope not, Shogun. Much as you guys like being in, I hate it. I mean, I hate it because it's like, usually when I do it, stuff is coming towards me and it's stressful, man. But I use that time to like relieve other stress as much as I can. But if we have 0 BNN streams, that would be A-okay with me. You know what I mean? I know David was talking about he wished I was doing BNN during he had a bunch of tornadoes up there. I like doing BNN. Weather is fascinating to me, but when it's coming near me, it's stressful. It is stressful. All right, things are moving faster now since I cleaned out these clips. I wish I could. I need to switch these channels. That way I don't have to do this shenanigans every time. Just go in OBS and flip 1 and 2. Dragon Ball creator Akira Toriyama passes at 68. Dragon Ball creator Akira Toriyama passes at 68. I don't talk about too many stories like this on this stream and on this channel, but This is a huge influencer in video games and the industry. Dragon Ball creator Akira Toriyama has passed away at 68 in a post by the Dragon Ball's official X account. His work on Dragon Ball influenced many modern anime. More. Check it out. Check it out. More. Check it out. At the end of you. Yeah, it's been wild weather though. I've been loving this this app on my phone, and if you know, when hurricane season comes back, I might have to resubscribe to those guys. The Radar Omega app, oh, it's been so good, especially when we had those tornadoes drop around us. It was really valuable, like super duper valuable. How do I? Oh, there it goes. Okay. Like, you see all the storm chasers going around storms and stuff. If y'all can make that out. This Radar Omega app is really, really good. Really, really good, man. But you have to pay for it to get it. But once you do buy it once, you got it forever. Until they decide to charge you again. But they do have a subscription thing that allows you to use the desktop app and some other stuff. Track tornadoes, track hurricanes. It's easily the best app I've ever used. I got turned on to it by Ryan Hall, y'all. Ryan Hall, y'all. Let me check on the print while this is rendering. Ooh, coming along nicely. Man, Stream Elements is going nuts. What the heck? That's the click the tweet thing, the clip thing, and Polymaker. Huh. Oh, I need to do this. I forgot to pin the message. No. No, opportunities lost. No. I was supposed to pin the message about remake so people can watch that. Oh, well. How come it's not posting to YouTube? I've been getting weird stuff, man. Stuff that used to work is not posting to YouTube anymore. Oh, that's why. Wow, it wasn't in focus. Did streamer.bot lose connection to YouTube again? It did. That explains it. I wonder if Google's getting attacked by Russia. Microsoft did. Makes you wonder. Makes you wonder. The gloves are off about. I'm keeping that. The gloves are off about. The gloves are off. I was just telling. The gloves are off about. The gloves are off. I was just telling my chat about this. Epic Games and Apple, man, they're swinging. They used to Bloopers are they had a Apple good versus flavor. Microsoft, but current year, it is Epic Games. Did that normalize? Sometimes I forget to normalize, and then when it comes out, I listen to it. I'm like, why is it so low? Cause you didn't normalize audio, dummy. Versus Apple, man. CEO Tim Sweeney has been very, very vocal on Twitter and other outlets about how Apple has been abusing their monopoly on the mobile app store on iOS. And the Digital Markets Act is something we've been talking about here for a couple of stories, and it just went into effect this past week. And it allows multiple app stores to be ran from Apple's device without Apple banning them. Now, Apple retaliated by banning the developer account from the store. The story over there. Over there. The story over there. Over there. Apple unban. Oh, that's not the home keys. Apple unbans Epic. Go. Okay, now we're going to work on this experimental thing I was talking about with having some gameplay in the background. We're going to do a vertical format with it, though. And that's going to go up to the Tiki-Takis. I might do a YouTube short, too. I'm feeling very experimental today. Like beakers and flasks. And Bunsen burners and petri dishes and microscopes. So much scientifical science. Centrifugal things that spin. Samples and other things that I can't seem to recall. Scientifical science. Oh, we're done. This is gonna be a new thing, new project. I'm just gonna call it science. Science. All right, where's my vertical recording of said story? I need to sort these by date. Okay, so it's probably this one. Yep. Final Fantasy. All right, new track. New timeline, I mean. You're going to be vertical. 60 FPS. Good. Boom. Bada boom. Big. Let's do the audio thing that I normally do. So, let's see. How am I going to do this? I definitely want to make a copy of this. Let's take out the audio on that one. So I think I'm going to resize my camera. Yeah, let's do that now. Okay, why is it so laggy? Weird. I need a crop top. Hey, why is it so delayed? Okay, that's more like it. It's like, what the heck is going on? All right. Oh, that's good. Let me leave that there. That way I can see the crop better. Perfect. Okay. So I'm going to make my face this big initially, and then we're going to cover that up with gameplay. Okay. Just cut it off right there. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is a game. It has Japan's second best physical launch sales ever for a PS5 game. This story is over on psu.com. They got the details. According to Famitsu, all right, now this is where I slap the gameplay. Boy. All right, let's color this. Track color, violet. Track color, I don't know, teal. Track color, you stay green. Okay, let's make you skinny. Skinnier. Okay, not fatter. Thank you. Skinnier. Alrighty then. Let's get the burn, boy. Need some gameplay. I think I'll do it earlier. We'll do like episode 1 so we don't drop too many spoilers because it's mostly from the demo. Let's go off to the right here and import this in. Yuffie Rebirth 1. This thing's huge, so I gotta get rid of audio. Let's get way deep into this. Okay, so we can take this and zoom it out to kind of match my picture here. I think if I just get the same value. Oh, actually, no, that's different size thing. Details. According to Famitsu, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which is the second in a trilogy, if you guys haven't been keeping up with what's going on, Famitsu reports that the number of Rebirth physical sales... Okay. Let's take another part of this. Let's get a random part. Yolk is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which is the second in a trilogy, if you guys haven't been keeping up with what's going on. Famitsu reports that the number of Rebirth physical sales cements it as having the second best physical launch sales numbers ever for a PS5 game. In first place is Final Fantasy 16. Okay, let's get another random part. Some combat, please. Actually, part 1 doesn't have a lot of combat, does it? Let's take that. Which sold 73,000 more copies than Rebirth on launch. And if you're wondering, Rebirth sold 262,000. Oh, wait, some combat. Where's the boss fight? There's some combat there. Definitely want to get the boss fight in here. Which sold 73,000 more copies than Rebirth on launch. And if you're wondering, Rebirth sold 262,656 copies, according to Famitsu. But despite it being an exclusive title for PS5, it wasn't able to move the needle. Okay. Attention span's already leaving. Okay, going to the character customization screen a little bit. On hardware to get the PS5 in the first place of last week's sales. And again, this is in Japan. So if you're thinking like, oh man, that's not good at all. This is not worldwide. Famitsu will track the numbers in Japan, which is, you know, Square Enix's home turf, which is a good indication of how boss fight. The native Japanese, huh? Japan folk, the Japan folk think about the game in terms of like voting with their wallet. But in terms of like the best-selling hardware was the Nintendo Switch, topping out the week with 62,531 consoles sold, ahead of the PS5's 48,067. And then, okay, up here. Need the fire scene. An Xbox coming in dead last at 2,351, which, you know, sounds daunting, but you got to remember Xbox has always done bad in Japan since the beginning of time. It just hasn't broke through over there, which makes sense because, you know, Nintendo and Sony are home companies and they tend to cater to their home audience a lot more. So this is interesting. What, you know, one thing I want to see added to this, I want to see Steam and Xbox sold in Japan. I want to show my face for that part. Interesting. What, you know, interesting. What, you know, one thing. Boom. Thing I want to see added to this, I want to see Steam decks. Why'd you go over there? Right now, I'm on. Thing I want to see added to this, I want to see Steam decks sold in Japan. They need to add that to the list. How many Steam Decks are sold in Japan compared to the Switch? All right, now we can get the face. Get the Sephiroth turnaround scene, which is iconic. I would love to see that. Would you now? Thing I want to see added to this, I want to see Steam Decks sold in Japan. They need to add that to the list. How many Steam Decks are sold in Japan compared to the Switch? I would love to see that graphic. Absolutely love to see it. I want to see how much they're selling over there. I don't know if they can track it. I don't know if those numbers are kept anywhere, but I would love to see it. But let me tell you, Final Fantasy VII, if you haven't already, that's an iconic look right there. Right now, I'm on
That's an iconic look.
episode 6. I'm barely like 10 to 12 hours in the game, so I'm very early. So if you've been playing it and you don't want to get spoiled, don't worry. You're probably way ahead of me. My overall thoughts on the game are positive. I think the game is in a good state. I think Square Enix has a good game on their hands, and I'm not going to say much more beyond that because I don't want to spoil what you guys are, you know, anticipating if you're going to play it yourselves. But it's a good physical launch. I mean, Square Enix is dominating in terms of physical launches over there in Japan. They got spot. Basically, everything I'm showing in this video is from the demo. So if people complain about spoilers, I'll just say sorry. That's 1 and 2 with Final Fantasy 16 and also Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. All right, good stop right there. Check the story out over on psu.com. They got the details about PlayStation 5 hardware not really being moved by these titles, but Square Enix is killing it in terms of Final Fantasy 16 and Final Fantasy 7 physical sales. Check it out. All right, I'm happy with that. I'm pretty happy with that. Although it wasn't exactly what I envisioned, but I think it's actually a little bit better than what I envisioned, honestly. Oh, that's audio. Never mind. Okay, dude. Don't do this. Check it out. Woo, what was that? The heck? Go sales. Check it. Oh, that's bad. Let's do a little pass job here. Let's hide you. And we're gonna crop that out the way so the crossfade don't interrupt. Oh, there's a line there still. God dang it. Wait, what? Physical sale. Which? Oh my goodness, are you kidding me? All this for a fade out. Sales. Check it out. What? Physical sales. Check it out. Wait, where's everything? And final. Okay, I just messed up everything. Everything's broken. Everything is broken. There we go. Final Fantasy 7 physical sales. Check it out. We're just not gonna do a fade out. You're not getting a fade out. Nope, not in current year. Nope, no fade out for you. Why, Buana? Physical sales. Check it out. Ooh, you'll never know, will you? All right, let's see how it turned out. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is a game. It has Japan's second best physical launch sales ever for a PS5 game. This story is over on psu.com. They got the details. According to Famitsu, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which is the second in a trilogy, if you guys haven't been keeping up with what's going on, Famitsu reports that the number of I'm going to put a title here too. What's the title of the video? Oh, that's wrong text. I probably should have a title for the video. Okay. Poppins. What you mean, Poppins? What you talking about, huh? What you talking about over there? All right, shading, red outline, and black shadow. Shading, red, you blick, but you blick. Thick. I'll usually have not touch that one. Layout, I need to move it up. Right there. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is a game. It has Japan's second best physical launch sales ever for a PS5 game. This story is over on psu.com. They got the details. According to Famitsu, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which is the second in a trilogy, if you guys haven't been keeping up with what's going on, Famitsu reports that the number of Rebirth physical sales cements it as having the second best physical launch sales number. I should put Rebirth. Which sold 73,000 more copies than Rebirth on launch. And if you're wondering, I don't remember if they had a background color. I don't think I need it for this video, but I think there is a way to do that. Rebirth sold 262,656 copies, according to Famitsu. But despite it being an exclusive title for PS5, it wasn't able to move the needle on hardware to get the PS5 in the first place of last week's sales. And again, this is in Japan. So if you're thinking like, oh man, that's not good at all. This is not worldwide. Famitsu will track the numbers in Japan, which is, Square Enix's home turf, which is a good indication of how the native Japanese. It's like the whole entire scene. Japan folk, the Japan folk think about the game in terms of like voting with their wallet. But in terms of like the best-selling hardware was the Nintendo Switch, topping out the week with 62,531 consoles sold, ahead of the PS5's 48,067, and then Xbox coming in dead last at 2,351, which you know, sounds
I
daunting.
mean, looking at this,
but you
all of
gotta
my
remember,
videos should have this
Xbox
level of
has
production.
always done bad.
They
in
really
Japan
should.
since the beginning of time.
And it's kinda
It just
making me
hasn't broke
sad
through
that
over there, which makes sense because you know Nintendo and Sony are home.
I'm
companies
seeing that
and
now.
They tend to cater to their home audience a lot more. So this is interesting. What you know, one thing I want to see added to this, I want to see
That's so much more work, though.
Steam decks sold in Japan. They need to add that to the list. How many Steam decks are?
See, if
sold
I
in
haven't been
Japan
doing this for like
compared to
20 years, seems
I
like,
would love-
and I know that if I put that much effort in there, it's not going to make any differences to the viewers, the view count. If I didn't know that, I'd probably be doing it, but I kind of know that. Put more work on my thumbnail will do more than doing what I'm doing right now.
love to see that graphic.
Although this might work on TikTok though. This is mainly a TikTok experiment, YouTube Shorts experiment. But I don't know, man.
Absolutely love to see it.
You put all that effort in, you get you get less viewers, really.
I don't know if they can track it. I don't know if those numbers
It's
are kept
discouraging.
anywhere, but I would love to see it. But let me tell you, Final Fantasy VII, if you haven't already, check out my playthrough going on YouTube right now. I'm on episode 6. I'm barely like 10 to 12 hours in the game, so I'm very early. So if you've been playing it and you don't want to get spoiled, don't worry. You're probably way ahead of me. My overall thoughts on the game are positive. I think the game is in a good state. I think Square Enix has a good game on their hands, and I'm not going to say much more beyond that because I don't want to spoil what you guys are, you know, anticipating if you're going to play it yourselves. But it's a good physical launch. I mean, Square Enix is dominating in terms of physical launches over there in Japan. They got spots 1 and 2 with Final Fantasy 16 and also Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. Check the story out over on psu.com. They got the details about PlayStation 5 hardware not really being moved by these titles, but Square Enix is killing it in terms of Final Fantasy 16 and Final Fantasy 7 physical sales. Check it out. Okay. Save science. All right. Let's export this. Oh, it kept MP4 stuff. Okay. 10,000 is fine. Render queue. I didn't specify the folder. That's okay. Fantasy 7 break sales, physical sales. I'll call it quote on underscore vertical. Vert. That's my experiment for today. Yes. 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 Okay. Is it thumbnail o'clock? It's almost food o'clock. Yeah, it's 3:45. I gotta eat. I definitely got to do a Final Fantasy 7 episode tonight. I didn't do one last night, so that's number one priority. So Helldivers is gonna gotta take a back seat to that. Whatever time I have left, I'll be grinding Helldivers, but we gotta do the Final Fantasy episode. Okay. Alrighty then. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, chat. I'm going to head out now. Thanks so much for watching. I got to eat, and then we got to, hey, the print's done, or it's almost done. We got to eat, and then I got to do my Final Fantasy recording, which I got to do offline anyway. So I'm just going to end now so I can eat and then do that. Then I'm going to do my thumbnails and then post all these videos we record tonight to various social media. All that's going to take time. So I will see y'all. Oh, you want to see the print? I'll see y'all tomorrow. I'm thinking about starting the Goalathon. I'm not sure. I think I might need a day off before I start the Goalathon because Goalathon is like straight streams and no break. And I might have to reduce the amount of work I do because it'll grind me to a halt. But we might do the Goalathon start tomorrow or Monday. I'm leaning towards Monday. So yeah, follow me on YouTube, follow me on Discord, on Twitter, all the social media stuff. Appreciate you all coming by and hanging out with us. And I'll see y'all on the next one. All right, take care of yourselves. Have a good night. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Instagram. I'm on YouTube. I'm on live.space, and I'm on Twitch streaming almost daily. I'm Buona on all 3 of those platforms, and also you can find me on various other platforms as well. All right. Commands in chat. Y'all have a good one. Good morning, evening, afternoon. I'm out of here. GG's. Have a good night. Good night. Good morning. Whatever time it is. It's almost 4 a.m. here, so it's morning for most of y'all. Bye.